What's going on, guys? Here today to do my first air gun review. Really, first real video on YouTube. Today I have my Beeman Raider in 177. It comes in obviously 177, 22, and 25. Just to go over a few things that I found about it that I like, and a few things that I really didn't care for, and just try and help you make a more informed decision if you try and get one. Non-biased review. Nobody's paying me anything. Obviously, I have like 4 subscribers. So yeah. Out of the box, you're gonna get a couple magazines, some documentation, some literature. You're also gonna get a few Allen keys and a few O-rings. It's not a rebuild kit by any means, just a couple little small O-rings. That's about it. It's boxed relatively well, standard, cardboard box with styrofoam inserts, but everything's packed tight, so nothing really moves around during shipping. I had no issues with any kind of damage or anything. It comes with a wood stock, classic rifle design. The stock is beech, and I had no problems with it. It had a really nice finish on it. It looked good. It is beech, so it's an extremely soft wood, so keep that in mind. It comes factory with a plastic um, protective sleeve, I guess you would say. It's not a shroud over the barrel. I removed that. I replaced it with some carbon fiber tubing. It comes with fiber optic open sights. I can't use open sights really. I wear glasses and they're bifocals at that. So open sights just don't work for me. It comes with a moderator of sorts. I would call it more of an air stripper. This is it here. Um, at lower power levels, it does work. At moderate and higher power levels, it basically does nothing. It will be extremely loud. It also comes with a plastic breech, bolt action breech. Um, Now, while I had no issues with this, I replaced it with a different breech off of a different gun that was a direct fit. Um, this one was kind of gritty at first, but after I cycled through a few magazines, it smoothed out pretty well. Longevity on this, I have no clue. It is plastic. It is relatively rigid plastic, but I could foresee issues with mounting a scope on this in the long run, or if you have a scope mounted and you bang it, I could see where the dovetail might get damaged. Trigger, out of the box, it was really good. This is a classic Crossman trigger, all metal. It does have a sear engagement adjustment. I would say out of the box it was maybe at 2.5 pounds. I have adjusted down probably to under 2 right now, which is fine by me. You can do what's called a roller bearing mod on this particular trigger, and it can take it down to under, a pound. Look that up if you want on YouTube. I'm not getting into it. Power level is adjusted back here via hammer spring, and the hammer itself via Allen key. Out of the box, this thing was tuned really hot. I mean, I was pushing 10.5 grain at like 1,050. So I backed it way down. I added a Picatinny rail up front just for some bipods. Keep in mind you're poking holes in your nice wood stock when you do that. I did also add a regulator. It's the one that's made for the Barra 1100Z. It's a direct fit. Beeman and Barra, however you want to say it. They're a lot of interchangeable parts. Their tubes are identical. A lot of their parts are identical. The breech that I put on here, the side lever breech, is off that same gun. Other than that, that's about it. The only issues that I foresee having is with this, the plastic breech, and tuning it. It takes a 3,500 psi fill, which sounds really good, but an unregulated gun, it kind of works against you. I wasn't able to get a good tune on this at anything over 3,000 psi. It was one of the reasons I went ahead and put a regulator in it. They advertise it as having, you can get 60 shots out of the air tube, which is a very small air tube, by the way. Hand pump friendly to a point. Yes, you will get 60 shots out of it, but they will be ranging from, say, 800 to 950 back down to 800. Completely not usable out past 25 to 30 yards. I had it tuned to where I was getting about 850 to 890 back down to 850, but I was only getting about 30 usable shots, and that was from 2900 down to about 16, 1700 psi. So while it sounds good to have the higher pressure, it's not necessarily a good thing if the valving isn't correct, or if the valving isn't specific for an unregulated gun. All the valves they use from 177 to 22 to 25 are identical. So it's just not a very efficient valve in this thing at all. So the shot string is just all over the place. Once I added the regulator, I get a stable 60 shots out of it now, which is really good for such a small air tube. I looked all over the place for the size of the air tube. I couldn't find any documentation at all, but it is relatively small. When you consider the valving and everything comes out to about here on this, you only have that much of it, for air. So it's not much. It doesn't hold a whole lot of air. Other than that, that's about it, really. My main issues were this and the longevity of it, and just the shot curve itself wasn't usable whatsoever at the 60 proclaimed shots that you get out of it. The power's there, the adjustability's there. Tuning it can be a pain in the butt. And, one other thing that I should mention, the original configuration, the barrel is held in by a single pin that's just pressed up against the barrel. They're completely relying on the barrel bands to hold that barrel in place, which in my opinion is horrible. If you bump it or that barrel gets out of alignment with those barrel bands, it's going to stay that way until you loosen it back up. It's just a really cut corner way to attach the barrel to the breech. It's basically just setting in there with the barrel bands holding it in place. With this one, it has at least 2 grub screws to hold it in place. And then it normally comes with a barrel band here and then one out there. I removed this one. For some reason, I found I was getting better accuracy with only the one barrel band. Preferably, I would really not like to run a barrel band, but in this configuration, the way the barrel is even held in with this one, you almost kind of have to. So other than that, it's a decent gun. Is it great? By no means is it great. But for the price point, it's pretty damn good. I paid $110 for this thing. So, excuse me if I'm sweating. It's super humid out here today. As you can tell, everything's covered in moisture. For 110 bucks, yeah, I figured I'd give it a go, knowing full well that I was probably going to have to tinker with it and fix some things. And unfortunately, that's the nature of the air gun industry. Even the higher end guns, quality control is severely lacking across the board. And a lot of times it's on the end user to fix manufacturing mistakes. Fortunately, with this particular one that I got, I'm not saying the one if you buy one will be any better or worse. It didn't need too much, so I was able to make a good shooter out of it. And on that note, I'm going to go ahead and get set up and do some 50-yard groups with it for you guys, so you can kind of see what it is capable of doing after you fix a couple little things on it. All right, be right back. Hey, what's going on, guys? So yesterday when I got done filming the first portion, it just started pouring rain right after that, so I wasn't able to do any shooting really. So I'm back out here today. Do the groupings at 50 and let you guys see what this thing's capable of doing. Sorry if I'm sweating and the background noise. The AC's on. Right here in my area right now, it's like 90% humidity. So, and I'm fat, so I sweat. But anyways, trying to keep the condensation off this thing. But let me get the target cam going, which is pretty much a cell phone, on a spotting scope, but it works pretty well. Get that recording so you guys can actually see what's going on down there. And then let my big old butt get in here and shoot some targets. We're using the RWS Super Field Ultra Heavies. They are a 9.7 grain. So here we go. We're not really going for, dead center target. We're just looking for grouping. So we'll see how she goes. All right, not bad. Had a couple meander. These are RWS pellets, so could be the pellets doing that. I've shot in way better groups with these pellets before, so they're usually pretty much stacked on top of each other. But we got 2 max, so we'll go ahead and keep shooting. It's also a fresh fill, so might take a few to work it out. Move over one. It's another 5-shot group. That one was quite a bit better. I think it's just taking a minute for it to tighten up there from a new fill. A lot of times my first 5-10 shots are like I said, it's cheap regulator, so it takes a minute to settle in. And we'll go ahead and keep on going. This is at 50, so and I'm out. It's another good group. We'll do one more just to show you the consistency of it. Now that it's settled in, it should shoot groups like that at 50 all day long. I've gotten groups at 75 with these same pellets out, with this gun out at 75. So That one dropped low. I don't think I cocked it. Huh. That one dropped really low. I don't like that group at all. I'm trying another. I got 4 left. Let me move up to this one here. I'm shooting low now for some reason. Another decent group. I don't know what was up with that last one. It just might have been me. Hell, I don't know. But just to show you what it can do out at 50 yards. It's not bad. I might have had something to do with it. The gun was completely cockeyed. I'm going to stop the target camera real quick. So, there you go. Final thoughts, I guess. It's a decent gun, especially for the money. Like I said, I paid $110 for it. Everything I got into it, probably under $200. It's not a buy it, pull it out of the box, and shoot it. I don't think it's good for that. You need to put a little time into it. You need to tune it. You need to fix whatever little quirks it's going to have. If you like to tinker, you want something to mess with that can be turned into a pretty good shooter for not a lot of money. It's definitely a good deal. Don't buy it if you're expecting to get something, pull out of the box, fill a magazine, and shoot it. You can do that by all means, but you're going to get about 25 to 30 shots per fill. They're going to be extremely high velocity and dropping dramatically out of the box. Even after you adjust the hammer spring to lower it down, unless you take it super, super low, you're still going to get a huge velocity swing. So if you like to tinker, you know what you're getting into, you want to spend, 150 bucks total, putting into it, and you have the time to tune it correctly, it's a big plus. If not, stay away from it. Please stay away from it because it's just going to be a headache. But that is it for now. I have the 2.2 version, which I can tell you right now, the trigger on that one is absolute garbage. It's the same setup, same trigger, same everything, and it's horrible. It's gritty. It's a extremely hard pull. The first stage is just stupid heavy. I got to tear into that before I even want to shoot it, to be honest with you. And that goes back to what I was saying earlier about, manufacturing quality on air guns. And it's just not the budget ones, it's across the board. It's like playing the lottery. Sometimes you win, sometimes you get a turd. And the industry's philosophy behind it is the end user can deal with it. Because honestly, the return process for most manufacturers is a nightmare. As you end up having to pay 50, 60 bucks for shipping, a lot of times both ways. Or you send it in and they send you back another one with the same issues or worse. Or you send it in and they say absolutely nothing's wrong with it and they send it right back. So I think a lot needs to be changed in the airgun manufacturing companies and the producers of air guns. That's just my opinion, and I'm ranting now. Anyways, until next time, have a good one.